Forest schools popular in Sweden. I can already tell that I'm gonna like this. I don't know if this is gonna be like they're learning like math and science in the woods, or they're literally learning how to chop down a tree at 5 years old. They're learning how to build a house with the logs that they chop down with their bare hands. And if we don't see a bunch of 4-year-olds building a house, will be a little disappointing, but I digress. Let's see what they do. Oh my god. Look at them with they even have construction vests on. They're ready to construct things. They look like little marshmallows. Oh my gosh. I'm getting baby fever. Oh my gosh. Aww. They're little boots. Okay, this little kid has glasses, and I have a question. A really important question. So, how do eye doctors know when a little toddler or even a baby needs glasses? Did they tell you that? Didn't think so. Because, like, my eyesight is bad, okay? I frequently confuse mailboxes and rabbits almost every day, if not every day. And it was like that when I was a kid, but no one was ever like, yeah, you need glasses, until I was in, like, 6th grade. That's the first time I saw leaves. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what those things are on the trees. Anyway, how can they tell that in kids? Because you know how they're like, number 1 or number 2? And then you're like, oh, number 1 is clear. Children don't even know what numbers are, okay? Unless kids are getting smarter. That's what they're teaching them in these forest schools.
Nu är det ordning igen. Ja, precis.
I don't think I've ever heard a little kid speak in Swedish. That is the cutest thing I think I've ever heard. I heard a little boy speaking German the other day on TikTok. This is cuter.
Oh, ja.
Ja?
Ja, ska vi göra det? Vi gör en eld där. Ja, då kan man ta tändstickor, precis.
This girl's like, you're doing it wrong. At this point, she should teach the class. She knows how to build a fire.
Åh, nu! Titta! Titta! Titta!
Hitta!
Titta!
This girl's seen some things.
Det blir en pyramid.
I used to work at a summer camp. We learned how to build a fire, and then we had to do it every Wednesday for Weenie Roast Wednesday, of course. We would always be like with another counselor. I don't think I ever built the fire. I'm just like, I would, but I don't want to show off. I would get some sticks, but I don't think I was paying attention when we learned how to build a fire. And it's like, I probably won't even need this. We needed it every single week of that summer. Did I get away with not doing it once? Absolutely.
It's easier to see how a fire works and how to light a fire, and to talk about what you need to light a fire. You need the heat, you need the materials, you need the oxygen. If one it's not there, it's gonna blow out.
I'm just like watching the kids in the back, just like, for them, that jump must be huge. They're just jumping, and they're like, so, like, no one's watching them. But I think that might be the point, just kind of free rock jumping. But anyway, yeah, she has a point. And it'll be something that they'll have since, like, they were little kids, you know? So they'll, like, grow up learning how to do important things in the wilderness.
So we want them to do that really from...
That kid in the background is... I don't know what they're doing, but they're enjoying the wilderness, and that's all that matters.
We believe that hopefully when they're in school and they have other classes, then we'll remember, oh, when you need those 3 things to start a fire.
We're sitting in silence.
Vi har fika på då. Bulle.
That is the cutest thing.
Och kaka.
Oh. Oh, pancakes? Dude, this would have been, oh my gosh, I would have loved this so much. We actually had, when I was in elementary school, I mean, we would do some things outside for, I don't even know what it was for, but we would go outside and collect like different things, probably for science class, I think it was, but also for gym class, we would frequently go sledding. That was, oh my gosh, it was so much fun because it's like, oh my gosh, like we're outside, but this is part of school. Like it was just, I think it gets kids way more excited to go. And it's also like a physical activity that you can do. Oh. The kids weren't impressed at all. Oh yeah, I've been doing that since I was 2 years old.
It's much better for kids to learn in authentic environment. So if we're gonna teach them about...
Do the kids just keep like going up there so they can just slide down the rock? Every time it pans back to this lady, they're just at the top.
Dividing and counting. I'll be counting kids, I'll be...
That one kid just... He's sunbathing. That's Jared. I think it's a girl actually. That's just Marissa. She does that sometimes.
Dividing the pancake, and so it's, we talk a lot about fruits. Then when we divide fruits, so that's the most important thing, to actually do it, just not to do it in theory.
Absolutely, because then and it's more fun. You know, when you're in a class where you think something is really boring and then you're just like, you're not going to be paying attention as much, even if you know you need to know it like for a test or whatever, doing it hands-on, you're going to remember that better. It's like when they get older and then they have to learn about things like quantum physics. Yeah, we're building a real rocket. We're going to space. I don't really know what quantum physics is. I don't know if that... Does that have anything to do with building rockets? I don't know, because I never built one. That's why I don't remember. I didn't think they were actually gonna jump. That seems a little dangerous. Just... I don't want to be that person.
The cortisol level goes down, the serotonin level goes up. The cortisol is the stress hormone.
I feel like if I ever become a parent, I'm gonna be, it's gonna be like hard for me to not be overprotective. Cause like if this was my kid, I'd be like, cause look at all the things they could get hurt on. But I'm sure it's also great for like their fine motor skills, maybe, to like do things like this, kind of like obstacle-y kind of things.
We need to have a paradigm shift in the brain about thinking about learning. What is learning about? What is teaching about? It's not only to sitting 9 years in a classroom.
Exactly. And like I feel like, you know, with things like building a fire, those are things that you can, you know, you need matches and just like simple things. So I feel like if it's something where you can teach it hands-on, why not? You know, it would definitely get people more interested in their schoolwork. Oh, little backpack. Are they helping him? That sounded like a minion.
It's good for them to learn how to handle their own stuff. And it's also they're very proud that they can do that they can carry their backpack and that they can open it and bring out their water bottles if they need. And that's also to be able to feel if I'm too cold, if I'm too hot, I need to take my gloves off. And we also work a lot of taking care of each other. Because that's the same thing. If you want to take care of something you like, you take care of your friends. And we believe that if you take care of each other, it's a much better place to be for all of us.
They have like little. Wait, how long do they stay here? So this is like an overnight thing. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And it also, I feel like that would teach them to be like independent from a young age. And obviously not that like kids need to be like super independent. They don't need to like go out and get their own insurance at this age. But you know, just like being, and like them wanting to be independent, like wanting to do things by themselves, I think is really important. Okay, so we have one more video that's about this, and it's just like 2 minutes long, so we're gonna watch this really quick, and then... That's a tree. He's like, yeah, guys, this one is a tree.
Days like these, they spend all day outside. We eat outside, we sleep outside. we're outside all the time. We won't.
Wow. How long are they away? Like, how long do they stay there? Is it like a Monday through Friday kind of thing?
The kids to experience all weathers. So even if it's 20 degrees below zero, they're always outside just to feel it when it's hurting your sheets and it's squeaking under your shoes in the snow.
And I feel like it's especially important because like in Sweden where all 4 seasons are quite different, it's definitely important for them to learn about like the really cold colds.
Technology today takes over most of the stuff, so I think it's necessary for them to be one with the nature at a young age, so they learn how to behave in nature and respect the nature, to take care of the planet.
That's true, just also being away from technology. But I hope it's something that they can like take into what technology is bad. Me making a video right now. No, but like when I was a kid, we didn't really there was like Game Boys out, with like 2 buttons or 4 buttons. And so it wasn't something like a lot of people didn't even like have phones that much. If it was just flip phones. So I think it's a great thing to be able to have that time outdoors and just be able to appreciate it and be able to have fun out there, because I feel like now if you were doing something like on your phone all day or something, then you go outside and you'd be like, well, I could be scrolling through TikTok and getting, like really fast, like serotonin. I think it's important to be able to enjoy yourself outside and like be able to find fun in it. As kids, I feel like you can almost even like find more fun because like your imagination is like huge. Wow. Yeah, like I said, oh my gosh, if I saw my kid was like doing this, I'd be like, Timmy, give me the knife. But I know, oh my god, I'm gonna be I'm gonna have to try to restrain myself not to be like such a hover parent. But it's really important for them to learn how to like be independent.
And we start when they're like 4 years old, and they have like potato peelers, just because it's safer. Yeah. And then when they're 5, they get to learn how to cut with the knife.
Wow. Oh, this is in Denmark. I would have adored this. Oh my gosh, this is a great idea. I wonder if we have something like this here. So they have them in, it says a wild education in Scandinavia's forest kindergarten. So they might have them in Norway as well.
Og når man nu bor herinde i byen, inde i København, som sådan en hovedstad, så er der jo bare ikke lige så meget natur. Og så er det bare en enorm gave for sådan nogle børn at kunne komme ud og kunne løbe en masse kilometer, og kunne kravle en masse rundt, og kunne få noget jord under neglene, og opleve nogle dyr og sådan noget. Det kan jeg mærke, og komme helt træt hjem igen. Det er en kæmpe gave.
Oh yeah, honestly, oh my gosh, I feel like I would appreciate that. Like if I had a kid and they were like, they run around all day and they get tired and they're not, all riled up at the end of the day, that'd be great. Oh, really? It says that teachers say children spending all day outdoors have better self-confidence and are sick less often. Oh, that's interesting. Because then their immune systems can kind of better defend themselves, I guess. This kid, watch there be like nothing on the other side of the paper. He's like, guys, this paper is just blank. They're like, Jimmy, flip around the paper. The birds are on the other side.
De prøver lidt mere selv og får følelsen af, at jeg kan godt selv. Jeg kan godt det her. Og også det giver mod på at lige prøve en ekstra gang.
That's true. Yes, because they can great. It says a 2018 study found that outdoor preschools improve children's teamworking skills. So is this, okay, so this is just like preschool. Do they, but this would be so cool to have just like the whole elementary school. I think that'd be cool. Oh my gosh, with warm soup on a cold day. Great idea. I think this is literally, not only would it be something that if I had a kid, would I want for my kid, but it would also be something where I would have wanted to do that as well, I'm sure that they love it. Or they're gonna look back on this time and be like, yeah, those are my favorite schooling years. Okay, so that would make more sense. I was asking before, do they teach other, math and whatever, but if it's just preschool, I guess it would make sense if they're just doing those kinds of things, because I didn't necessarily go to preschool. Apparently I went to preschool at my daycare, which they didn't teach us anything, so and I turned out fine. That is really cool. And especially because they can, like, throughout the whole year, they can experience different seasons and things. Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. But yeah, if you're from Scandinavia and you've gone to one of these, let me know if you had a fun time and you still know how to build a fire. We didn't see anyone making log houses. Well, there was a log fort. Oh my gosh. All right. Bye-bye.